Today's reading is going to be, do they have naughty thoughts about you? I'm sure some people send these questions in just to see me squirm. Because I'm not particularly good at these type of readings, but I don't know if that makes it probably more interesting to watch. I haven't got my cards with me, which tend to be a little bit more suggestive, so that may be lucky for you all. You have got 3 choices. The first one is Ace of Cups. The second one is the World card. And the third one is the Page of Pentacles. Yes, it is the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles. That's your third card. So if you want to take your choice, I'll leave them here for a bit. And then we'll get stuck in. Okay, this is what I've got. Your question is, do they have dirty thoughts about you? You've got the Star card in the middle. You've got the background as in not clean, a difficult situation with this person, this child dressed in white coming forward. So have dirty thoughts about you, but it's almost as if they come across as a bit of a saviour in these in these dirty thoughts. You've got the 5 of Fire here. Now this is what I'm thinking as I'm putting these out. It's a glimpse into my mind why you shouldn't really ask me these questions. Is you've got here the 4 of Swords. So this person's like lying low, quiet, still, possibly by the picture in bed. You've got here the 7 of Neptunians. You've got the 7 of Cups here, which is the card of fantasy and options. Lots of different thoughts come into their head. And you've got here the 5 of Fire interpreted, which is a bit of an antagonistic card. So there's a bit of a rub in this. And you've got lots of palm action going on in here. So somebody lying down, fantasizing with a lot of rubby palm action. A lot of rubby palm action going on here. The Magician card goes very well with the Star card. It's like this person, it's like turning up, like Mrs. Mop knows what to do. He's going to clean up the situation. It's like, I've got all these options I can give you. So all these options that I can possibly serve you. I'm going to leave it at that. Possibly serve you. I'm actually thinking of cleaning up things, but I think my mind's gone a bit too far there. It's like it's like somebody who's really proficient at lots of different things, and this is what they can do, this and this. And you're like, wow, you're fantastic. And the Star card there. You've got cards here which I don't quite know about yet. You've got here the 2 of Cups. Oh, that's like spilt milk, isn't it? I'm afraid there is spilt milk. And the 2 of Pentacles here. It's like, what's next? What's next? 8 of Earth. I'm so earthy and virile. I can just keep going forever. It's like restarting again. Oh my Lord, what is this one? Oh, Brother of Stencils. So if they're old, they see themselves as being a lot younger, and will work for idiots. I don't mean actually that is so, but it's somebody who's working for you, somebody who thinks that, I don't like that card, we'll turn it that way around, but it's Brother of Stencils is somebody who sees themselves as quite young, and the ability to work. And this person's put a lot of effort in and is like a love terminator with these cards. So it's like somebody that just doesn't stop even after they've finished. This is what they daydream about. These cards here, what are these? That would be like movement and healing and almost like, cuddling after an event. Because it is like after the event, the woman's been taken away across the water. Oh, yuck. Across the water and guided. And then you've got here a very sort of defensive card. And I say, oh my God, okay, this is like very straightforward. This is very straightforward to my head. It's like somebody who's actually holding you and loving you, and you're actually saying that was magnificent, and basically praise them for all these qualities, their ability to have, I don't know what to say there. It's like hand in every glove. So it's not a saying, is it? It's like they can do anything they put their hand to, and that they are, you know, that you're lost in it. Type of thing. And the six of wands at the end is then victorious. So it's quite a straightforward fantasy, really. It's somebody who sees themselves as being very virile, very proficient, and they're obviously doing something while they're fantasizing here, which we talked about earlier. And what they're fantasizing about is just probably plain mammally sort of get together, like mammals do. Not mammally, but like mammals do. And their ability to, you know, to do other things even after they think that it's over, and that you're sort of, they're holding you and you love it and you're telling them, and they're like, yeah, I'm king. 6 of Wands. Yeah, look at me, what I just did. That's what they fantasize about. And in that, they're young and they're giving. You know, if they are young, it's basically that they see themselves as being somebody that helps others or that serves others. If they're older, they just see themselves as being young and still doing it. So I'm going to leave that there, pile number 1. That's what their naughty thoughts about you. Yeah, the naughty thoughts are actually quite clean in some way. They're quite straightforward in some way. It's when they're the centre, but they're giving. I'm going to shut up anyway. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you very much. Bye. Oh, okay. Right, pile number 2. This feels like it's somebody who's male that is fantasizing about you. So if there's a female you're asking about, I don't know if this is your pile. I don't know. I suppose there are different alternatives to that action. The reason I'm saying that is because of this card here with that snake in the hand. It's like, to me, it just has a feeling of somebody who's, this is what they would fantasize about. Somebody who's quite proud of themselves physically, their size, if that makes sense. You've got here the 6 of Fire next to it. And this is like, as you can see by the card, it's like somebody showing off. It's like somebody who's very proud of themselves. And it's like, look at me. You know, shine is the word that's written there. So it's like, this person's the centre in this fantasy. They're this sort of naughty thought about you, and they're very sort of proud of themselves. The reason I'm saying that in a very sexual way is, well, I'm not saying it sexually, but it's meant that way. The Chariot card is a card of force, and the King of Wands is a card of virile, maybe even force for action itself. So you've got a lot of fire and strength in this. So when they have thoughts about you, their naughty thoughts, it's like they're the centre, they're overwhelming, they're passionate. In a contact in a chart, it would be like, it doesn't have to be a man, but it tends to make me feel like this, but it doesn't have to be. It's that the man, or the more masculine female, and masculine energy that pushes outwards, literally, you know, that is more go out and do it, is that Mars on the other person's moon. That's what it feels like. I thought that as I was putting it out, and then I got the Empress card. I thought, oh yeah, no, I can see that. So it's almost like you're more passive in these thoughts they have about you. You're more sort of, what's the word? Not docile, reserved. And they are basically, I'm going to use the word hammer there, but I don't want to. Army hammer. You've also got feeling, you wait for this, 9 of Water here. This isn't things that I do, I'd like you to all know that, but this is like things that come to my mind quite often. The 9 of Water here could possibly, take this with a pinch of salt. I don't know what you're all up to. The 9 of Water could very much be fluids involved. Let's just put it like that. And then an ample amount of fluids involved. What those fluids are, I'm going to leave to your discretion. And this person, this is somebody. I'm not saying that their fantasies are what they actually want to do. It's just that somebody who's having what I guess is very, very strong fantasies towards you. Anyway, let's keep going. You've got here the Eight of Pentacles, and that's like a skill or working at something. You've also got yourself blindfolded. Oh my Lord, okay. You can't move. Okay, you're tied up. Maybe, this is what I'm thinking. You're tied up, you can't move. There's fluids involved, a lot of fluids, whether this is lube, whether it's semen, I don't know. I really don't know. But this person, what they're doing is very skillful, where you, as I said before I saw these cards, you can't move. They're doing everything. They are full on. It's almost like they turn up in a chicken suit and you can't take your eyes off them. It just has a feeling of just... They have got your attention. Okay, so, and they are well endowed, let's put it that way. If it is a female and we're talking about endowment, I don't know what to say here, but, you know, there are different types of ways of making that work. With buckles and Velcro. I don't know. I really don't know. You've got a feeling here, the Page of Pentacles and the Empress card, as I was saying with that Moon-Mars feeling, you get Moon and Mars between a couple, and it's often referred to as the masculine, the Mars-type character likes to think that they can impregnate the woman. And you often find when those are connected in like synastry or relationship charts, there's a lot of children involved. It just is this is all masculine and this is very feminine and this is children. So it could very much be that, you know, their fantasy would be that they were so virile, so fluid that you got impregnated and they're doing all the work. You're doing absolutely nothing. You just tied there looking at their glory. Their glory. And the Five of Swords at the end is unequal. It's like you doing nothing and them basically really proud of themselves. Yeah, it is. It's very, very masculine feeling coming from it. So if this is a woman having fantasies, it's a bit more like I don't know what this word is. It's dominatrix, scaletrix. I don't know. It's something like that. Yeah, the woman that you're thinking of is very dominant, very controlling in the situation. Not in an awful way, but just in a way that they want to do that. They just want to do that. Yeah, so lots of fluids, lots of skill from their point of view. You being bound in some way, or I don't know, it's just wrists or whatever. I don't know. Could be. I don't know. Them being potent, virile, large, in control, strong, lots of movement, lots of vigour. That, as I said, that's like small, like Virgo in skillful. Then when you're bound up and there's lots of fluids involved, I don't know. And then this is like, it becomes a bit more virile in this pile. And then to me, it feels like, you know, it's a feeling that they want to impregnate you. I don't know. You know, it's like, well, that must be the ultimate, isn't it? I suppose with regards to wanting to own somebody. I don't know. I really don't know. These are like questions rather than answers. And the Five of Swords is like, I know I did a good job, but not so bothered about you. Down there, that's you. That's you, that little one there. Okay, well, I'm going to leave that there. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody out there. Yeah, I've got nothing to say but to apologise, but that's what I've got. Thank you very much. Bye. Okay, pile number 3. Does this person have naughty thoughts about you? No. They have beautiful thoughts about you. I wouldn't say these are naughty. The first two piles, definitely. If you think your person is that way, round, more than just a very gracious person, then listen to one of those two piles. This person's fantasy about you is a bit like Atticus Finch. They want to, it's like fighting for you and winning and showing how. You've got the Justice card in the centre. You've got here a fighty feeling, and you've got here the Page of Wands. There's a real... It's like their naughty thoughts about you is you... Oh, it's really sweet. It's like somebody who needs to be recognised for the goodness inside themselves. And those are their naughty thoughts. So if that is a naughty thought, it's like they probably feel that they don't deserve it in some way. And it's like they're saving you from something, or... making something right, maybe like a legal case, and when they're showing up, what they're saying and how they're presenting themselves is really articulate, and you're like admiring them. So this isn't as naughty as you may have hoped. But hold on, I'm sure I can squeeze something out of it. Again, the Mother of Air is going to add to this feeling here of it being something verbal, talking, but it's not got a feeling of sexy verbal at all. It's got you're talking and you're communicating, and it's like, that your mother could be watching you and you wouldn't know there's something naughty going on. It's like they would say, oh my gosh, they're very protective of you, aren't they? And very articulate and gracious and kind and giving and strong. You've got cards here of like a protective family feeling here. And the Eight of Wands is speaking up about that. So if you're in divorce, or if you've been through certain difficult situations that may have court cases or the law involved in some way, this person is trying to save you from that, and that's what they feel that's their little secret fantasy, is showing up and making the world safe for you. And it may be the type of thing they wouldn't like to admit, but that is what they're doing. It's not like dirty, flirty. I put my hands on that and I said flirty. It's not like boobs and willies and bums fantasies. It's something else. It's more like a soulful fantasy of... And you find people with cancer tend to have these sort of fantasies a lot, where they feel that... And Saturn as well, so Capricorn, they never feel that they're quite good enough, so they give in very sort of compassionate ways. And Saturn never feels that it's worthy. When it's conjunct, especially soft planets, like perhaps if this person's got Moon Saturn, Venus Saturn, this person is showing up and feeling loved by being grand and seen by you because they're so good at what they're doing and they're protecting you. Again, you've got very, very beautiful cards down here. Ace of Water and the Ten of Pentacles. It's a feeling of being steady and comfortable in life. And you've got the Ace of Water, love, expression, connecting, again with comfort and stability. So this person's fantasies are not sexual, to be honest. I'm not sure if they are sexual as well, but the overriding, which isn't a fantasy or a dirty thought at all, it's more of a, you're going to recognise me and we're going to be loved together. We're both going to love each other. And I'm going to save you from a hard life, or not saying they think you've got a hard life, but something that may be difficult. And as I said, it's probably, that is their naughty thought, because there's like a guilt in there possibly. It's like, I shouldn't be feeling like this. I shouldn't be trying to please people, or I should just be showing up as, the last spread number 2 was very masculine. And I kept saying, if this is for, 2 women, this may not work. As well, or a man looking for a woman, it may be different. This card could be any sex. It just didn't work so well in the second one. If you read it, you may understand a bit. If you watch it, sorry. But this has just got a very much you admire them for their strength in the sneaky thoughts, fantasies. You admire them for looking after you, and they're like, it's like somebody that wants to protect. Aries can often tip onto that, but this isn't an Ariesy type pile. It could be slightly, but it's got more, it's more Cancerian, more Capricorn. It's somebody that shows up in a difficult situation in life, and through their intellect and through what they say and how they think, they save you in a way. It's like, this is like a Jordan Peterson pile. I don't ever show this to Jordan Peterson, please don't forward it to him. But imagining, he's very Saturnian. I always feel for him, because it's always as if, and he probably think, you stupid woman, what are you doing on that table saying these things? He's tough on himself, and he's, sees life as tough, and he's had a tough life, just very Capricornian life, or the recent years have been. But, he's a very strong character, and if he was to fantasize, please don't forward this to him, he's like, no, that's not true. I like pygmy goats. If he was to fantasize, it probably would be articulating something to protect, because he's Cancer Capricorn, isn't he? Something there, Saturn Cancer, something there. But it feels like this. It's protecting his family. It's what's important to him. And he's doing it verbally, through his mind, through his intelligence. And he's fighting for it. And love for family. And when you hear him talk, it comes across like this about his family. And you talk to him about his family, and he's an emotional guy, and he starts crying. And steady. His wife's Taurus. Is he Taurus rising? I don't know. I can't remember. He's definitely air. He's got an air face. Air tend to have longer faces, finer faces, as in not like big lips and things, thinner lips and stuff. He's Gemini, isn't he? I don't know his moon there, I've forgotten it. So, to answer the question here, I'm sorry it's not quite as rambunctious as the other piles, but you've got, do they have naughty thoughts about you? The reason why I think this has come out like this with the naughty word is because they wouldn't like to admit to it, because there'd be an element of shame of wanting to save you. And knowing that that's how they get their kicks, that's how they feel good about themselves. But this person has very sort of what would say is quite traditional, maybe old-fashioned. Those aren't the words that I'm saying, but these are ones that sprang to my mind that did actually come out of my mouth. Of loving, giving, kindness, support, strength, and admiration coming from you for some action to do, which I think is bringing some wrongs to right and protecting you. So that's about as naughty as it gets. I think to me, because of the word naughty and because of this, it makes me think there's a guilt there with it. And people that feel guilty for love are people with normally Saturnian type qualities on their moons, on their Venuses. It's like they don't feel that they're lovable, so they feel guilty about doing it. And this is the type of person that very easily blushes when they're attracted to somebody. And it's awkward, maybe a little bit, or holds off their feelings. They can go both ways. They can look very cool as well, as in very controlled, to try and hide their feelings because they know that they want to be loved. I'm more for sprinting myself in the other direction. Anyway, this is what we've got here. So I hope that helps. And yeah, it's a beautiful pile. And I think the naughty is on them, the way that they feel that they'll be accepted. So I'm going to leave that with you. Pile number 3. I'm going to love you and leave you. Bye.